All
So
right.
we're live.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. All right. And welcome everybody. That it is Ninja Spence 21 here. And then that this is our last bonus roundtable of 2022. So who do we have with us tonight?
There is a Miro, and over next to me is
Right.
I has a Knox.
And a Neysa.
All right. And then I guess then that we are going to be talking about basically that our expectations and then resolutions for the year 2022, that they can be tabletop oriented, TBA oriented, and personal life goals. Let's just kick it off. Just who wants to go first?
I'll start off maybe with some of the TBA ones we had a couple weeks ago. We had the Stay of the Hydra meeting with all the members who decided to join, and some of the stuff that we brought up is a really good idea. Uh, One of the resolutions is to make sure that everybody at the table is uh, more heard, more understood, and if something's not sounding right, we do the timeouts. So I'm going to be trying to do my best, especially for the live games, that we stick to that. Because when Frecky mentioned that idea, it was a really, really good one, and it's something I think we should keep doing. So one of my resolutions is to try to push the make sure our breaks and timeout stuff is remembered.
All right, nice, nice. I know for a fact then that, just basically just doing it, just at this previous game, it kind of sort of like can like helped out and it kind of like reset everything, even though that even though that secondary break, I mean that y'all really didn't take a break. I was just up in just rush panic mode and forgot to grab my phone when just picking up Dee Dee, but I know, but I am going to like let Knox go before, not before that. I say mine for TBA.
Uh, I mean, honestly, the biggest thing is the kind of follow through and a bit more and be a bit more uh forward when it comes to helping set stuff up, especially for like this the going back to the state of the Hydra, this idea of a second live weekend kind of situation, just being more available to help in general. Once, especially once the whole house situation is settled, and we're settled into our new place, being a bit more available to for that stuff. That's a lot of just being available is a lot of the things that I want to help with work on for me.
All right, all right. Then that I would say that basically that mine kind of sort of also stem from that the state of the Hydra meeting as well. Everybody had brought up amazing ideas as far as in like basically trying to be more active and then just like engaged and such. And then that my biggest thing is just try to be more just productive as far as in just basically trying to not necessarily take charge but also be able to have that secondary backup like live game session if possible, if that that say that like Miro needs a break or something like that, then that we can start hosting them at MySpace or so like that. And then that also then that trying to at least like get at least 5 orders in of our merch, so that way then that that could be some money going back into the stream as well.
Is it, do you got one?
Uh, I don't remember. what I said earlier. I guess wanting just to try and connect with people more over social media, other groups and stuff, so we can try and connect better that way.
All right, and anyone else as far as in like a TBA focused resolutions?
I think the only one I can really think of is trying to assist with the continuing upgrades to like equipment and stuff as much as able. That or coming up with like helpful alternatives and stuff like that. That's all I really got.
All right. I mean that while we are still on the discussion about like TBA resolutions that are then that there are some resolutions for next year that we will want like TBA focused games coming up for next year.
Let's see. I know that one of the things we've looked at on the schedule, but I haven't posted anything up about it, is whenever Tears of Kairos comes to a conclusion, which that might not be 2023, that might be 2024 at the rate we're going. Because some of us decide to.
I sincerely hope it won't be that long. I don't think I'll survive if it goes that long,
Because
guys.
some of us decided to chase a goblin up the back end of a statue. So, yeah. that's what we do.
Ass ventures.
Yeah. So anyway, is that there will be a online Monster of the Week, so I can have my house empty for a little bit. Like I've said before, I love everybody, but I didn't realize how having multiple days of the week where I might have a bunch of people show up to my house can actually be draining. It's not really, really bad. So, like, nobody take it that way, please. It's just one of those of like everybody's in here awesome, and then now everybody's gone, so immediately like all the energy went with them, kind of thing. So
energy crash after an event.
Yes, very much so. And so I know one of the resolutions scheduling wise is there'll be a slight break before we come back with another live in-person game. On that note, I do know that Grave is putting together a couple of games that he would like to propose, and one of them is an Exalted game, and that was what I really cut my teeth on with roleplay. So if he gets that together, I'll definitely jump into that because but I think that'll be a pre-recorded thing that we just air during the week, not necessarily live stream it the night it happens, because I'll be honest, probably going to have to edit down combat in Exalted, because that 6 seconds can take 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Because
blow a raspberry and murder somebody.
Or you can blow a raspberry and like
mentally murder someone.
Yeah. So just his big thing is he wanted to bring in maybe more game systems, some different type of stuff, to play some different types of games, because we really do rely heavy on 5e and Monster of the Week, but that's because that's what everybody knows. So I'm kind of with him on that. I really wouldn't mind trying some other game systems. Like there's one I've been listening to in a podcast for the Adventure Zone called Blades in the Dark. And that sounds like a fun system. I forgot the Extra Life thing is actually animated. The ADD kicked in. So I know that's one from someone that's not here, is that to vary up the types of games systems we play. You know, not maybe switch to them full time, but just try something different, break up the routine a little bit. And a couple other folks have talked to me about things, really want to up the amount of video games we play. And since I think Knox, was it you posted that they have Munchkin?
Yep.
that this might be a thing now.
It is. I want to say I'll give you for sure because I'm just looking at it.
It's $15. It's in
Yeah.
early access. I got it today and I love it.
Yeah, and apparently it's not available currently, but it is going to be available on phones as well. It just is not currently. I checked it earlier today, and it's not because it dropped 3 days ago. So
Nice. So,
It did.
so those are some of the other resolutions I know folks have talked about, is to vary up what we do. I think we got some folks coming up with some podcast ideas as well, that might just be complete audio format and not go to YouTube or anything. So it's kind of promising to see what some folks are coming up with. And I really, I'm going to try to put as much support behind it as I can without, leaving myself tired and having to go to sleep every day like when I get off work.
yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah. I mean that I know one thing that I mean that there are a couple of things that I know that like up in 2022 that I want to basically conclude our Into the Woods with, that that my sessions of that, and then that has been kind of like end at the works, and then I promise you it is hopefully is going to take 3 sessions max, hopefully, but we will see because knowing us, it'll probably end up being 4. But I am going to keep to that hard limit as that we have spoke about, to just basically 3 to 4 sessions, and then that's it. One thing that I didn't bring up in that the state of the Hydra was that, to a follow up to all of our interview segments that we have been doing and such, that what I would like to do is basically have everyone do something pre-recorded about basically, that what is behind my DM screen, pretty much. It is basically like an idea to where that, that everybody gets to see what on earth is behind each TBA's DM screen. What kind of notes do they have? Do that they use like technology? Do that they have like funky little dice such as like Rory Story cubes, or else that these dice that my girlfriend got me, to where that I would use them for like basically for like monster of the week, and then that also like how do you want to do this rolls, to where that I would roll them and then say like, will you please describe how you killed the goblin that you have basically stabbed in its left leg, and then that just opens up air for like that creativity and then role play capability. And then I do think that that'll be something feasible, honestly, for like some pre-recorded content.
I think those would make really good shorts if I ever put it on my phone, so that I could just upload them directly to TBA
Yeah.
on YouTube. Because again, some folks might need more than the time limit of a short,
I
because
mean
they have
that
a
we
lot
would
of
just
stuff.
have to right. That we would just have to just workshop it to maybe 3 to 5 minutes max. That's it, and stuff like that. I know as far as games, I want to try to bring back the Killer Tales again, which is just a My Monster of the Week series, because all of our Monster of the Week is just up in the multiverse at this point now. And unfortunately, that I do, as much as I want to bring back the Revenge of Stefan Carcass, that may has to be on a hiatus until further notice, and in which that we can discuss about that later on.
Ooh, sinuses. Yeah, sinuses.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right there with you.
They just
So,
started.
I know. I like.
They just started releasing for me, and I'm like, ah.
Yeah, I've been fighting sinus crud for a week. I know. Like, honestly, one of my biggest issues is time. Like, Mondays we have our game. Tuesdays and Thursdays, especially for the next few months, Tuesdays and Thursdays is big because that's the girls' gymnastics night. Gymnastics practice. She's on the cheer team. They had their first competition yesterday in Shreveport, so we did that. And that way we drove up there and then did a competition and then drove back. So that was fun. And they have 5 competitions in the season, and that's at minimum. And that's if they don't perform well enough to get invited to like regional competitions and stuff like that. So that's taking off, and we will see exactly how we're at. With yesterday being the first competition, we will see where the team lands. Especially considering the fact that it was the girls' first competition, and they placed 4th out of 4, and she didn't take it super well. So this could, which is a sign that this could very well end up being a thing, a bigger thing than has been previous. So that's Tuesdays and Thursdays, and which leaves Wednesdays and Fridays, but Fridays is kind of usually typically up in the air because if we end up doing anything, it's usually on Fridays, which leaves only Wednesdays, and then it's still a normal day of get home, take shower, cook supper, eat supper, and then try to peel my happy ass off of the couch because I'm beat because it's Wednesday.
Mm-hmm. Does that Frey have any resolutions as
Any,
far as in like things?
any other things, resolutions connected to TBA, baby? Nope.
Okay then. So then let's just shift gears to just our own personal tabletop resolutions and such, as far as in like that any kind of special projects you want to finish up on. Uh, Basically, what are your tabletop goals for next year?
Craft more, make stuff more. Uh,
Yeah.
I seriously have to force myself to do that. I have since moving into the new house, I have very much fallen into a rut of I will come home, sit down, piddle on the internet, or grab a nap after work because I'm teaching 7 classes and I'm tired. And then then it's like, oh, I only have like an hour before the game, so I don't go out to the shed or I don't do anything, and I really need to start stopping that, or stop doing that and start doing more like actual stuff with my hands, because it is one of the things I've used for therapy in the past for stress.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, that even just at my job, sometimes that it's just like that. Oh, that I want to do something, but then it's like, oh, I'm so tired, but I got to get up and do this. I just need it. All of this is just at the hardest part of just, just trying to get up and just hit that play, hit that record. I know for me personally with tabletop stuff, I want to try to actually finish completely writing out this draft of like the Revenge of Stefan Carcass. I want to actually get the World Bible somewhat finalized by around at this time next year, so that way that I can be done with this section of the world. Because I'm gonna just be honest, world building never ends. It never ends. And try to get better at like making maps and being more cohesive with making maps, and just honestly just doing just more art related stuff, and that's about it.
You,
Yeah, hard.
no, go ahead.
It's hard same. Yeah, it's hard same. It's finding the time to do the crafting and the like just sitting down and painting minis. Um, getting ideas for new things to do that I have the materials within access to do without having to purchase them, which is a big thing, especially right now. And it's going to be that way pretty much until the house sells, and then we're settled in that. Um, Kind of a situation where we have no idea when we're going to get the call of, hey, here's your offer. And the issue is that once we get that call, then everything starts. We are in a constant state of hurry up and wait, because the minute that call starts is the minute we start seriously packing the house. So I don't want to start a project. I don't want to break out my leather stuff and be in the middle of a project and then have to stop, not only pack it down, but pack it up and move it. And then I'll be and the last thing I want is to be in the middle of a project and not have the space, room, or time to touch that project again for 3 months. So I'm kind of in this nebulous zone of, even when I want to do something, it's probably it's probably not a great idea to start something, because I don't know when I'm going to have to stop, put it up, and then not know when I'm going to be able to touch it again. And living your life like that is frustrating as all hell, because I want to do my stuff, but I have quit jobs because I could not get that feeling of completion, because I couldn't see the job done. And the last thing I want to do is carry that into the things that make me happy, because if that's the case, then I'm going to get frustrated, and then that work itself is going to suffer.
Mm-hmm. Anything from Neysa and then Fre?
I just want to actually knuckle down and finish like organizing my house and make things a little more to the point where I actually want to be on stream more regularly. Like, I have so many Funko Pops that need to be on display just so that I can show them off, just so that I have the excuse to go on stream and yeah. That's my big thing, is trying to actually organize, because living in a tiny house is not easy when everything is sitting on top of everything else. So that's my big, like, spring cleaning to the max goal.
Any personal resolution or anything?
I guess mine's about the same as everybody else's. Trying to do more creative shit. Because I don't feel like I've done a whole lot in the last year between moving and stuff. So, get a better job for one thing. That's definitely a personal one. Stop working at the mall.
God, that mall. Oh, that mall. But yeah, I mean that. I know personal wise for me, I know that my health hasn't been the greatest sometimes. Whenever then that, just like yesterday that I was just up and just pain, and I'm just thinking to myself like that. You used to be the one that people would be like, wow, that you are really in shape, blah 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 and all of that. Then I'm just like, I need to get up and just start just walking around and moving around. And I also need to try to basically be a little bit more organized and hopefully just try to get, a house of my own. Even though that, that's going to be another headache and a half, but it's just a space, but I am just dealing with what I have right now to make that do. And just as the general consensus is that we have all been tired. I mean, it's been like that for almost 2 years ever since the pandemic hit, and then it's just like, just I don't know. That did that like COVID just instead of just zapping Sting, it had it now then it had just now that it had just zapped out motivation. I don't know.
Maybe a little bit on that.
Yeah, I mean that is true. I mean that I honestly do hope for the fact that that all of our resolutions do come and see fruition and such, because then that everyone here on this call, that we all have the good ambitions and stuff to make just situations work.
Yeah, being in a position and kind of in that position where you got to kind of make things work is kind of at times can be rather daunting. However, it's not impossible to make the time to do what you want to do. It's just a matter of sacrificing being I don't know if sacrificing that laziness, which is a lot of times for me really easy to sink into because I'm already here and I can just click another video on YouTube or watch another episode of Doctor Who. So finding that time, especially on days where I can, to essentially force myself to do the things that I want to do instead of just sitting on the couch and watching that next episode is kind of a thing for me. I mean, it's hard. It's possible, but it's hard.
Somewhere
Oh
on,
yeah, go on.
I was gonna say
Sorry.
somewhere on that note, Knox, I'm actually gonna force myself to sit down and watch shows this next year.
You
Like,
don't watch shit this year.
huh?
You don't watch shit.
Yeah, we've I have so many series I just don't make time for because I will go and watch a 20-minute YouTube video and then go to bed, or I'll watch another 20-minute YouTube video when I could have sat down and just watched a whole episode of Yellowstone, or was it 1889? Because
Yeah.
I keep
Mm-hmm.
having those recommended to me. I mean, I finally made time this last year to watch all of the Clone Wars, and I don't regret doing that. And
Yeah.
I'm trying to go through. I think, was it called Rebels? That was
Yes.
on Disney. I'm trying to go through because all that stuff is becoming canon, and I want to watch this before I get to Ahsoka or I get to the next part of Mando.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Because here's the deal: as much as I love Star Wars, the extended U had so much lore in it that I was not going to go read because there's 30 years worth of books, and now what Disney is putting out as lore seems
Fiona is pulling in EU stuff in essentially bite-sized pieces.
yeah, it's I will say this, it right now to catch up on Star Wars lore seems a lot more accessible and easy to do. Like it's kind of like when we were talking about on the state of the Hydra, is creating media that is actually consumable.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
I love Critical Role. I absolutely love them. I still have not finished season 2, and I haven't watched, I think, since episode 13 of this new current season, because when they switched to the longer format, it made it harder to consume. Like, Em and I would watch it live on Thursdays used to. watch it live on Thursdays, and then we would stop where we stopped, and then we would pick up like that next Monday, watching it. But when they switched it to like 4 to 5 hour chunks, it made it harder for me to sit down and watch it because now I'm having to dedicate an hour and a half or 2 hours multiple days, and I just don't necessarily have time for that. So I've gotten way behind, and I really want to catch up because I liked where I stopped in campaign 3. I liked where the story was going. Like I have not ridden out the Dorian wave quite yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like for me, for me, whenever it just comes to trying to just watch shows and such, then I am guilty of basically on my smart TV. I would just go to the YouTube app versus Hulu, Netflix, Disney Plus, because partly because that fun fact during like my last 5 6 years of college, I did not have a single subscription service. No YouTube, no Netflix, no Hulu, none of that. And then that I was just left out on the loop of so many things like that. I missed out on like the whole like Steven Universe, Adventure Time, all of that stuff. And then that people were just like, man, are you living without YouTube and stuff? I'm like, easy. I'm just putting it into other things. But now, since then, I am now just a little bit older and stuff. It is some things that I want to try to just sit down and watch, but I will kind of sort of treat it as like background white noise in a sense while I am drawing or something like that. So that way, then I can say that I followed along with it at least. But but it is kind of hard for me to basically do two things at once or else multitasking because that if I am watching a show, then I will get into it. Just not just how like me, and then that my girlfriend that we are watching Manifest that they had just recently put back on Netflix because it used to be on NBC, and that show is pretty good. It is a very good show. From Frey and Neysa, anything about this topic about resolution and trying to catch up on shows and such?
Not for me, really. I mean, other than Ditto.
See, I realized what Neysa was saying there, but my heart got excited because I thought that meant there was going to be a Pokemon show called Ditto. And now I made myself.
Sorry to disappoint.
I made myself a little sad.
So what? It would just be just like the daycare center with just this one Ditto. Oh God, no! What are we doing?
You mean every Pokemon game that's come out since
Silver and gold.
for a good long while? There's just every
Silver and gold.
pretty much
Pokemon
every
Golden,
one of them
Surge,
just
and
got
Silver.
it's just a Ditto in a daycare, just waiting for the next time it's needed.
That this sounds like that it would just be the most edgy thing ever, and then that the daycare workers smoking cigarettes and stuff. It would just have that kung fu hustle energy. I already know it. I need this. I don't know how, but I need this in my life. Oh yes, and then speaking on Pokemon, Ash Ketchum has finally done it. He has finally became champion.
It only took
Yeah, it happened
30 years.
It happened in Sun and Moon.
That it had actually happened again up in just at this more recent one.
Oh,
he had
he beat Leon.
Yeah, he had beat Leon. I mean, to be fair, Leon was a walkover whenever I had played Sun and Moon. I mean, not Sun and Moon, Sword and Shield, and then he that he was just hyping up his Charizard too much. But it's still just like after all this time that your cracked out OP Pikachu finally gave you a win.
Why do we call them hedgehogs and not battle hamsters?
Say that louder for everybody.
Why do we
Oh,
call them hedgehogs and not battle hamsters?
I mean, Battle Hamster sounds cool. It sounds like the name of a robot that they had used to have on that one show on Tech
BattleBots.
TV slash G4.
BattleBots bounced between so many different TV networks for a while.
Yeah, yeah. I mean that it's just that the general consensus here, folks, as far as in just like everyone is just like, I don't think 2022 was bad this year. Was it bad?
2022 to me wasn't a bad year, but it felt like 2022 has been a bit hectic. 2022 is also like we've attempted to do normal, but people forgot how to normal.
Yeah.
And also, I will say this year's been a bit of a wild ride if you've been paying attention to anything that's happening in the news and shit. It's just one of those of, and what happened now? Okay. Like I remember when I was younger, like there'd be like a whiplash effect or something, or like you didn't have like the number of big stories like happening back to back. However, I'm still waiting for Murder Hornets to come back. I'm waiting for that lost plot line to return. I'm not trusting this. Like they were there for a week back in the
Please,
in the.
please no, please no, please no.
I'm just saying, they appeared and then we dropped them faster than the Garlic Jr. saga.
Whoa, that's pretty bad.
Like, I mean, I know the legitimate excuse or the legitimate thing is that they didn't spread like they thought they would, and they've been able to mostly contain them, and they actually have a bounty out for those little assholes. But like, I'm just waiting. That's like that was like the visit of cousin Ronnie section of time that everybody has kind of forgotten, because like every week when that crap started, there was something. Like there was Tiger King, and I think the only reason that show got popular is because we were all stuck at home.
That is legit a thing.
That is legit a thing.
Because let's see, describe a show badly. White trash with too many cats. Still not wrong. I mean that's what it was. Like nobody that was in that show was a good person.
Yeah.
And like one of them, I know that Joe's in jail. I think Doc Antle might be in jail.
I mean, if
Mhm.
not, he needs to be.
Oh, he totally does. Like, did you watch the follow up on the bullcrap he pulled?
Mhm.
No.
There's a separate Tiger thing just about him, and that dude's a cult leader.
Yes.
Like, not just like sort of. He's a
Full on.
yeah.
I honestly feel bad for like that famous news reporter guy that who basically destroyed his entire image by following with this guy, and I'm like, oh, you used to be pretty famous. Now you're just cynical and just like the rest of them.
Then there's also the infamous Carol Baskin, who I'm going to say this: she didn't deserve half the hate she got, but at the same time, everything I've seen, she's not exactly taking care of big cats either the right way. So I don't know. It's one of those things of if it's not a zoo or an actual conservation reserve, I'm like, why do you should not have this many large predatory cats? This does not seem good for them, and you are living here by them. This seems hella dangerous.
Yeah, and then at the whole like Rob Lowe guy, like I don't know if he's in jail. I don't know.
If he's not, he should be. Pawpaw
Like
walking around in Ed Hardy jeans.
I mean, all I do is single-handedly keep Ed Hardy in business.
yeah, I mean that. I mean that that the jeans were so tight. It's just like are they okay? They breathing? Yeah, I'm like, good God, that dude. Like, if that you can already tell, folks, that we are trying to reach, because I think that most of our New Year's resolutions are the same-ish.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. I think so. I mean, we all want to try something new next year. We also all want to be more involved and make something happen. So, but I mean, let's. I guess the last thing we can do is you asked the question: was 2022 a bad year? I would say for TBA, it wasn't.
It really wasn't.
For the majority of the year, we've run 3 nights a week, with some form of show. We've had everybody stay in contact. We've had no major drama. And I mean, I think everybody's fairly honest with each other. So I think that it's been pretty good. I mean,
Oh yeah.
we,
Oh
we
yeah, I can definitely agree with that. That the games have been amazing. The characters and just people wise and great synergy throughout and stuff. And in that, other than that, I think that we are just trying going to. We have been getting somewhat better and better at this. Every single year. And we are not pulling another 24 hours. No, thank you, because we can't handle that anymore.
Yeah, no, no.
we'll do it one more time. I know us.
If we did it, it will have to be in shifts, so that way somebody could just be sleeping and then taking over or something. Not everybody staying up at once, because that got ridiculous.
It did, but the thing is, if we do that one, someone's going to be yelling, "Hewitt's got the sleep farts over there."
That's why you would sleep it off.
I mean that my thing is that back to something that you said with just more of that the video game stuff that I think that the video game content would actually be very helpful. I know that sometimes that if that we don't have a Tears of Kairos night or so then that that I would basically pop open my stream, and basically me and then Neysa that we will basically stream our Stardew Hydra farm for which is basically open for any. We just need like two more people from TBA to join us, and basically you have a farm.
Join us. We're not creepy.
Okay, creepy lady.
I'm already farming in Valheim, so
Hey, that you can be the miners. That you can be the mining while I just focus on the fishing, and then just make us like three, and just make.
Stop trying to recruit more people to not work on the farm, man. You're trying to send people up in the mountains. Why you doing that to me? Why are you doing that to me? Just
I
because I'm
would
a girl,
take
isn't
a
it?
no, it's not that. You know that I can do the farming and stuff. That somebody can help you out on the farm.
Teasing. Teasing. Teasing.
I mean, but we all know that Mayor Lewis and Marnie still got something going on, regardless of your own headcanon. Good God, that is something I don't
Straight
want
up.
to envision. Right.
Let's see. Also, another positive thing for 2022, we are still we have raised $1,234 of our $1,500 goal, which still lasts to the 31st of this month for Extra Life, with all proceeds going to the Children's Miracle or Children's Miracle Network, specifically to Batson's or Children's of Mississippi in Jackson. So the fact that
Yes.
we've raised 2 years in a row, we've raised over $1,000 is good.
I think that I think that like collectively over the past 4 years have almost been either 8 or 9K. I'm not really sure on those numbers because I know that like last year that we had made a lot, and whenever that that Chris's job had basically doubled what we had earned, that it had boosted us up to 3,500 last year.
Right, and I know that they're going to match now. It hasn't been added to the amount here because it's they don't donate to us; they donate to the charity directly. So
Right.
we'll just have to talk to Chris to see if what the update on that is, because again, worthy cause. And I mean,
Absolutely.
and we're going to be. I guess that's another thing to look forward to next year. We're going to be expanding our charity work to where every quarter we have donations, or we have something like we're going to be starting with the Trevor Project at the start of 2023, and that'll run from January through March. So
Right. Right. And then that we can even just, that we can just try to set like goals and stuff that I know that, that this may be a long shot or so, but I had literally just had this daydream of like that, even though that, that it's going to probably just going to be the most hilarious thing ever that, what if that the professor actually showed up in person during the Tears of Kairos game? That would be crazy and just good God. But I don't know. It's just other ideas. Oh God, I hear the voice in my head. But other than that, I think that these are all pretty good resolutions, folks. Any just now then like any other last closing remarks before we just go to like our outros and stuff.
hashtag
Huh?
sponsor us, Rights Bacon.
Hashtag Rights Bacon. Hashtag sponsors Waffle House.
Waffle House, please sponsor us. We will play a Monster of the week in your headquarters or else at any or just up in like any Waffle House. Please do. Your food is delicious. Well, then I guess then that would just conclude it, and then I will basically give it over to like that the combo of just Miro and Fre for basically our closing remarks, and then also like upcoming schedule.
You want me to do the schedule and you do the socials, baby?
Yeah.
Okay, so schedule wise, tomorrow we'll be back with Holy Winds for the first time in 2 weeks. Thursday we will be back. We'll be back with Tears of Kairos on Thursday. We will be back with another kitchen table next Sunday. And that schedule will repeat mostly for the next week. And then on the 17th, we will have our Extra Life weekend, where we will be streaming some games on Friday night. And then we will run 3 games during the day. I'll be running Here We Go Wrestling, a version of the Fight Before Christmas. Spence, I believe you are running a Monster of the Week at
Yes,
3.
I will be running Slashing Through the Snow.
Slashing Through the Snow. And then Claire will be running, I cannot remember the name, it's something Troop. But we will have the return of 3 of the Gobos from Extra Life with a game of Goblin Errands. So, That's going to be fun. And again, tune in. We will be accepting donations through that. If you would like to donate, if you are watching right now, down below there is a link. You can also use the QR code that is on our screen. That'll take you to our wonderful website of tba.com.
Excuse.
It's teambonusaction.com. Teambonusaction.com. I got a new thing socialized to mess up everybody. But no, we got that'll take you there, and there'll be a link so that you can donate to the charity through us, and also see some of our affiliates. Well, not affiliates, but our friends that we're going to advertise for free.
Yeah.
And here is my wife's.
Black. I didn't mean to put on the headphones. Socials. Twitter @bonus_team.
Yep.
YouTube. Facebook. Twitter. Twitch. And Instagram. Team Bonus Action. Again, he had already said teambonusaction.com. Huh?
Linktree.
I don't know how to give our link tree. I am the link tree.
You're not incorrect.
You're not incorrect about that.
All right, that just give us a watch, give us a like, give us a follow us on Twitter and Facebook so that you can find out when we're going live, and check out all of our previous random shenanigans over on YouTube. And I'm gonna stick these back on his head now.
Yeah.
All
Sticking
right,
stuff
then.
on Hewitt's head.
Also, remember to ring that bell and smash that subscribe button.
Please don't do that.
You're fired.
You're fired.
But what you
gotta-
don't, I say
Oh.
that, but the thing about it is the fact that what none of you realize is that, unbeknownst to all of us, like our houses are now sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
Oh no. No, that it is by NordVPN, or else BetterHelp, or else Blue Apron, or else crap. What is another one? Surfshark VPN, Squarespace. Good God, all of those.
You know what? We're
ISO,
done.
ISO tunes.
And well, since Knox is here,
Don't let your meatloaf.
good night, everybody. Comment, like, subscribe. Thank you for watching.